Welcome back to Metals, Money, and Markets. We are December 7th from MiningClips.com. I'm Rob Goodman, and as always, Mickey Fulp, the Mercenary Geologist, who is sitting here next to me, and we are in Spokane for the AEMA Mining Conference. Mickey, good to see you. Let's go through these numbers here. We're dollar off, gold up, oil hung in there, and the equities markets got bashed. Let's start with gold. We're a pretty good week here.
Well, it's always nice to do one of these shows in person, and sitting at the bar, drinking a beer, and let's go. Gold was up to $12.48, up over 2%. Silver up over 3%, $14.59. It's been about 6 weeks when we've seen that level. Platinum underperformed a bit. It was down $6, closed at $7.92. But the real story for the week was probably palladium. At one point on Wednesday, intraday, palladium exceeded the price of gold. And we haven't seen that in a long, long time. It didn't hold that, but it closed at $12.06, all-time high, 3.6% up. The world is out of whack when palladium's trading higher than gold is.
And speaking of, what are these ratios looking like?
Well, gold and silver is still at near or very rare territory, closed at 85.5. Platinum to gold set another all-time record on the downside, now at 0.63. Platinum palladium down to 0.66. Once again, we haven't seen those sorts of ratios since 2001.
And finishing up with copper here, red this week off 3 cents.
Really volatile week for copper after the Trump and Xi dinner on Sunday night. The markets roared for a couple of days on the idea that trade tariffs were going to go away. Copper went as high as 287, closed the week at 279. As the trade winds blow, Rob, it is so severely backward right now. I can't find where it goes in contango, and I saw out to 3 years now. So it's out of whack. Inventories still remain at a 10-year low.
And shifting gears over to the energy markets here, oil finally picked itself back up after a big losing streak.
Yeah, oil had a very good day today. On some positive news, U.S. rigs down 11, although production was flat. It's still 11.7 million barrels a day. Stocks, inventories up 5 million. That would have been negative. But what really happened was OPEC and the Russians at the end of their meeting in Vienna announced they're going to cut production 1.2 million barrels a day in January. So oil was up 2%, closed at 52.80. One thing I ought to mention, USGS put out new reserves for the Permian Basin, just about the biggest we've ever seen, or by far we've ever seen in the U.S. 46 billion barrels of oil, 281 trillion cubic feet of gas.
And uranium, $29.
Yeah, it picked up once again. It's kind of stuck at $29 till the next uptick happens.
And head over to the currency markets here, dollar off, euro probably the big winner here.
Well, DXY was weaker, basically because people from the Fed, a couple of Fed governors came out and very dovish talk. That knocked the 10-year Treasury down. It lost 0.15 of a point. We also had some relatively slowing down in the jobs market, housing starts, both slowing. So in addition, so that knocked the dollar down to 96.62, off more than a half a point on the week. Euro was up 0.7 point to 114. Italy caved to the European Union on its budget, so that was positive for the euro. And meanwhile, loonie was flat, closed at 75 and change, off a bit on the week.
And wrapping up with the equities markets, gave back everything from the week before. Really volatile. Short week with the Bush.
I'm going to channel Lee Corso here and say not so fast. Anybody that listens to College Game Day, watches College Game Day knows what I'm talking about. Bitcoin was off another $500 this week, closed in in the 3,400 range. The markets, Dow did not have a good week. Actually had a good couple of first days, but then this trade tariff stuff reared its ugly head. The markets got really nervous about the Fed, interest rates, and trade tariffs. So Dow closed at 24,389, down 4.5%. Everything's down 4.5%. S&P 500 2633, Nasdaq 6979. Both the Dow and S&P 500 once again are in negative territory year to date. Nasdaq's getting close, and it was just such a volatile week. VIX was at 24.
And speaking of red here, Toronto Venture Exchange continues to edge down as expected.
Yep, down 4 weeks in a row as we predicted, closed at 572, although it was up 6 points today. That's still a 3% loss. We're seeing tax loss kick in even more with volumes moderate. We still got 1 to 2 weeks of tax loss selling before I predict that it's going to end.
Okay, Mickey, good to see you as always, face to face. Enjoy your weekend and appreciate the insight.
Cheers, Rob.